I was diagnosed asthma in elementary school. Every time I would get a cold, it would go straight to my lungs and I would get this hellacious barking cough. My mom was so frustrated with the cough that she went and got me tested and got diagnosed with asthma. And I would regularly keep my Ventolin inhaler with me for PE class or anytime I would have some symptoms and start to wheeze. But it wasn't until my freshman year in high school that I actually had my first full-blown attack. And asthma attacks were a part of my regular life all throughout high school and college. I had my own breathing machine to give me Ventolin anytime that I needed it and didn't have to go to the hospital for an asthma attack. Every time I would have an attack, I would hear this little voice in the back of my head suggesting that there would be a way for me to slow down the attack, to stop the attack from happening. But I didn't know what it was to do. And so the fear of not being able to breathe exacerbated the attack. I would get scared and freak out about not being able to breathe, and then I would be in an attack even faster. It just snowballed. Fast forward, I graduated college, was having some health problems, and ended up being diagnosed yoga to help with some chronic bladder infections. And I'll never forget my first yoga practice. I actually went out and bought Basic Yoga for Dummies because I was afraid of looking like a dork walking into my first yoga class. So I bought a video so I could do it at home, so doing privacy in my own home. And within that first yoga practice, they broke down Ujjayi, which Ujjayi is the primary breath practice or pranayama that is facilitated or taught within vinyasa yoga classes and many other different styles of yoga. And it is physical manipulation of the throat to where it's slightly open and slightly locked at the same time. It's kind of a weird sensation. So it's creating the sound of the ocean in the back of your throat with every inhale, and imagining that you're fogging up a piece of glass with every exhale. Some people call it the Darth Vader breath, but it is a way to warm your body from the inside and helps detoxify the body, but it also has a sound, and so that auditory sound gives the practitioner something to focus on during their practice. And I remember finishing that DVD for the first time and thinking, oh my gosh, I've never focused that intently on how I was breathing. In all my years of having asthma, no one ever suggested that I practice breathing in any different ways. And after 6 months of practicing yoga twice a week, my chronic infections were gone that I had been prescribed yoga for in the first place. But on top of that, I was no longer needing to puff my inhaler before every class. And friends, I can say since I've been practicing yoga regularly, I haven't had any more asthma attacks. And can I say that yoga is going to cure all asthma? Absolutely not. I know everybody's bodies is different and everybody's experience is different. However, what I can tell you that I learned scientifically is through the practice of Ujjayi, I have learned how to relax and contract my glottis, which the glottis is a muscle in the back of the throat. And so what I learned is when I would start to have an asthmatic reaction, start to wheeze and start to feel that constriction within my lungs, my glottis is what squeezed and clenched. And that glottis and that squeeze in my throat is what then exacerbated the attack. So when I heard that little voice in the back of my head as a little girl saying, there has to be something that you can do to help prevent this attack. And that's what it was. It was learning how to relax not only the muscles just in my throat, around my larynx and my pharynx in order to be able to pull in more oxygen. But it also helps me relax the rest of my body, because any sort of relaxation is going to help with the flow of your circulatory and your respiratory systems. So through the practice of yoga, I've learned how to relax my body. I've learned how to manipulate my breath through different forms of breath practices, which has given me more confidence in my ability to breathe properly, given me less fear of not being able to breathe. So therefore, when I have had any sort of asthmatic sort of symptoms start to arise, I have been able to relax into it, soothing myself without the need of the medications. So if you have asthma, I'm not going to promise you that yoga is going to make your asthma go away, but I will promise you that it will help ease some of your symptoms, because you will start to learn a greater mind-body connection to help yourself not get so freaked out or so scared. It will do nothing but help. If you want to know where to get started, let me know. Actually, check the comments or check the notes of this video, and I'll share with you actually a link to a video that I made, so you don't have to go out and buy basic yoga for dummies yourself. If you want to get started, and I made something for you, it's called Yoga Phobia. It breaks everything down. Or if you just want a basic beginner practice to get started, I got links for you down there. Links how to do the breath, links how to start moving your body. I got everything you need to get started, and let me know if you have any questions. I hope this is helpful. Namaste.